What is up, Rumble? What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Ryan Matta Show. I'm your host, Ryan Matta. Thank you so much for joining us on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon, folks. We're going to talk about all things Bitcoin. We got a lot of breaking news. MicroStrategy, to kick things off, is on its second fundraising ploy this month to buy more Bitcoin. And we're going to talk about here's what happened today in crypto, as well as a lot of other things. So do me a huge favor. If you guys are just joining us, please smash that like button. We'll jump over here to the live chat in a minute. If you guys are not joining us on Rumble, the free speech capital of America, well, folks, you should. You should definitely. We need to support these networks that are not yet shut down by our tyrannical government. If you guys didn't hear, our useless government today decided that they are going to ban TikTok. And even the Bitcoin community saying this is what tyranny looks like, folks. So do me a huge favor, smash that like button, come join us over here on Rumble, and let's kick this show off. Dylan LeClaire was just over on Fox News. He says hashtag Bitcoin as a protest to fiscal absurdity, the flaw of apologizing, industrial commodities squeezing of the past, and the empowerment of self-custody.
Joining me now, UTXO Management Director of Market Intelligence and Bitcoin Magazine Institutional Lead, Dylan LeClaire. Dylan, you keep batting these titles, my man. We need a 2-hour show just to introduce you. Hey,
Charles, it's good to be back.
It's good to have you back. You really have been very pivotal in all of this. I see this movement as an extension of the American dream, right, of achieving prosperity. You know, we talk a lot on this show about what's being offered right now. One, big government with a lot of handouts. The other one saying, hey, we'll set it up so that you can do it yourself. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin is just a protest against the absolute fiscal bazooka of the current U.S. government. I mean, 130% debt to GDP. There is no actually escaping this. Your previous guest was talking about this very fact. And the rise of Bitcoin is just a protest against that. It's I don't want to get debased. I want to hold something that's absolutely scarce. And I don't want to be stolen from by my government. And this is a global phenomenon. This is not just U.S.-centric.
It is a global phenomenon, and it's a 24-hour-a-day phenomenon. I saw a tweet, and I want to get your thoughts on this yesterday. It took a shot at Michael Saylor, comparing him to Nelson Bunker Hunt. Now, I want to make sure that folks who are not familiar with Nelson Bunker Hunt, he was huge when I was growing up. Once the richest man in the world, cornered the silver mine, but there was a lot of pressure from the government. The Federal Reserve took some actions, cracked him pretty bad. I mean, he was able to scramble up and do pretty well by the time he died, but he wasn't the richest in the world. Samantha LaDuca saying that Bitcoiners should beware who they worship, suggesting that Michael Saylor is a modern-day Nelson Bunker Hunt. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, the first point is it's generally unwise to hoard or attempt to corner the market for an industrial commodity, and here's why. Here's a thought experiment for you. Imagine a sovereign took $1 trillion and attempted to buy up all of the world's oil or all of the world's copper, for instance. The price would surge, and then what? All of the industrial producers, the industrial miners, the frackers, whatever, this could be any commodity, would absolutely flood the market with new supply, right? And the supply relative to the outstanding float or above ground supply would be enormous. Right, so this would what? This would drive the price down. There's a general rule. The price of any commodity trends towards its marginal production cost, right? There's a profit incentive, right? So when we're talking about commodities, industrial commodities or monetary commodities, there's only one commodity on the planet that no matter how much you try to acquire it, no matter how much resources you throw at it to produce it or mine it, no more supply is introduced. The supply issuance is unchanged. That's Bitcoin, right? The first time Bitcoin was at 69,000 compared to now, it takes 400% more units of compute or hash rate, right? Mining difficulty is 4 times higher than it was in 2021, which means that the marginal production cost of this thing, while not uniform in any sort of way, this is depends on energy prices and many other inputs, but the marginal production cost of Bitcoin has never been higher than today. So this is unlike silver. This is unlike any industrial commodity. Bitcoin was 100% pure monetary commodity, and it's absolutely scarce. So by cornering the analogy to the Hunt brothers in the silver market is a non-starter. It's a complete misunderstanding of actually what's at play.
So I got less than a minute to go, like 30 seconds
Bingo.
with this. One thing I see you often tweet about, and that's saying make sure that you self-custodian. For those who are unfamiliar with how that works, how do you go about doing that? Someone wants to buy Bitcoin today and follow your advice and self-custodian.
Yeah, the beauty of Bitcoin is that this is an open source movement. So while ETF flows and institutional custody is great for onboarding massive pools of money, the average user still has the opportunity to acquire Bitcoin and have the self-sovereignty of being able to take their money anywhere on the planet with mathematical certainty that they own the thing. It's the first thing ever that we've had like this. It truly is magic internet money. And it is a steep learning curve, but I encourage everybody to venture in, dip the toe in, and start the learning process. It's a worthwhile one.
Well, I tell you what, the first step then should be following you on Twitter and some of the different ventures you do, because you have helped so many people, and right now it's rocking and rolling. You should be proud, Dylan. Thank you very much, my man.
Thanks, Charles.
Amen, Dylan. Amen. That guy is an absolute legend in this space. If you aren't following Dylan LeClaire over on X and you guys want to get educated about Bitcoin, not crypto, right, folks? We got a lot of new people coming in this space. You guys are going to see me become really a really big Bitcoin maxi, honestly. Right now, I think if you're new to crypto and this is your first time and you're transitioning from this tyrannical fiat government that has just been crushing you, with these type of gains that we were talking in Bitcoin, I got to airdrop some things over. I'm going to talk about a story of a friend that reached out to me about a year ago. It was in March, right when I started at LFA TV, and he knew that I was into crypto. And I started trying to tell him, I'm like, bro, you should drain your entire 401k right now and buy Bitcoin. So I'm going to show you why he didn't, because he was going to pay a 25% fine, right? And what it would have looked like if he would have taken, so let's just say he had $67,000 in his 401k. What it would look like if he would have paid the 25% fine, cashed it out, and put it into Bitcoin, what it would be right now. And then what it will be if Bitcoin hits $1 million. I think that that's my bare minimum target right now with the amount of inflows that we have coming into Bitcoin. The probability of Bitcoin not hitting $1 million. I mean, Bitcoin is literally your dream shitcoin right now. I don't know how else to better explain it. Like, a lot of people will go out and you're looking for that new gem, right? That new low cap gem that you can get an edge on, and you're hoping it maybe does a 2, 5, sometimes 10, or even 100x for the really low cap ones. But if you're buying a coin that has a $250 million or a $500 million market cap, especially if it's not a layer 1 blockchain, I mean, statistically, your best odds are 10x, right? So if your best odds are 10x and you're sitting at Bitcoin that's under 100,000, it's going to $1 million, Bitcoin is it, right? Bitcoin has the ability to change the future for you and your children forever. So it's so smart that people understand that I've been in this industry for a very, very long time. I have a giant portfolio. And when I buy stupid things because my friends are launching projects or I'm a fan of that ecosystem, it's because if I lose that money, it's literally my bar tab money. So this is money that I don't go out and drink, I don't smoke, I don't party, right? When I used to, right, it was $250 for a night out, especially if you're going out with a girlfriend. I mean, now in Biden's economy, just to go out to dinner for 2 people at a basic restaurant's $150. That's not with drinks, right? You start having some drinks, you're looking at a $300 tab right now. So when I go and do stupid shit, I'm fully aware that it's stupid shit. And if that money vanishes into thin air, it's gone, right? So that's what I really want to help. I'm going to try to bring on as many experts. So if you guys are more into the Bitcoin stuff, like absolutely strictly Bitcoin, come to my morning show. Those morning shows, I'm going to be trying to get as many people from the Bitcoin industry that are very big names like Dylan or whoever else that would like to come on the show. Everybody's welcome. And we're going to really try to educate you about why it's so important that you don't do the shit that you see other people doing on YouTube. A lot of these people, whether they're somebody like myself that has a small following, or some of these artists out there that have bigger celebrity, that are more of like a celebrity, like Shoulder Boy, all these rappers that want to start buying shit coins and putting them in their profiles and pumping them, every single one of them last bull run was a scam. So understand that you're most likely going to get played and you're going to get wrecked. So you can risk buying scratch off tickets, or you can put your money into an asset that's guaranteed to 10x. So we're going to talk about all of that, folks. Do me a huge solid. Smash that like button, share this content. Let everybody know we're live over here on Rumble, folks. Let's jump over to the live chat before we get into it and say what up to the squad. We got Hernando Arce, my favorite citizen journalist, folks. If you guys aren't following Hernando Arce over on X and you want to stay up to date with the invasion of America, he is your go-to guy. He goes by Hernando Arce over on X. He says, I'm new to crypto. It's the UFC of monetary game, my friend. I like the way you think, Hernando. Hayes Nick, my friend, good to see you. Intentional, good to see you. Who else we got here? E-Man, Folic, good to see you. DSDS, Katie Hayes, everybody's in the house. Mr. K, Rumble Rick, Apple Guy. Mr. K, if you could help out Apple Guy, he's looking to find out where you can get the ticker for Hero or it's the ticker or whatever. You got to put it in your wallet. You know what I'm talking about. I don't even know what you call it now. But yeah, he's looking for it. Ozza, good to see you. We got a whole lineup of people over there on YouTube still as well. I'm going to jump over there and say what up to you guys in a minute. Check this one out. Probably one of the most epic, legendary videos of all time in the history of crypto. Imagine following this guy back in 2013. Oz over on X goes, I'm a beer hunter. I like the name. He says, the man did warn us all. We didn't listen. Bitcoin. Check this one out.
A lot of you don't believe in the Bitcoin system, and that's fine. You can stay on the sidelines, but if you really, really want to become wealthy in the future, I would suggest you take $1 frickin' $1, buy some Bitcoins, put it in a goddamn wallet, put it fucking away. Okay, I'm sorry for swearing, but you know what? It's just $1.
That's gangster, man. That's gangster. Imagine that. Putting $1 into Bitcoin when it was 13 cents, what you would have today. And that's what we're going to see play out for all of time right now. This video, I couldn't get the video to play, but I just want you to see this guy's interviewing Michael Saylor, right? And Michael Saylor, we're going to get into that article here in a minute. He's doing another option to buy, I think, another $500 million. Somebody in the live chat was just asking over on YouTube. He says, what's the title all about? So we're going to get into that article as well. That is top Bitcoin traders enter leverage longs, right? These idiots leverage trading at a new all-time high. But hey, whatever floats your fancy, tickles your fancy, near an all-time high, $80,000 ahead. That's what the traders are calling for. But before we get into that article, and before we talk about the legendary Michael Saylor doing another fundraising ploy this month to buy another $800 million worth of Bitcoin. Check that out. It's wild, right? I just want to, this is Michael Saylor. I want you to listen to what he's saying here when people ask him about the price of Bitcoin. This is how I feel. You guys watch me buy Bitcoin twice this week, literally at all-time highs. I bought another $4,997 today. We're about to get Hernando RC a little bit more Bitcoin as well. So check this out. Vivek says, Vivek for real over on X. He's a parody account. If you guys aren't following him, it's pretty funny. He says, when people ask me about my Bitcoin strategy, listen to this.
You just don't give a shit. You're buying no matter what, like periodically?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is your strategy you?
Yeah, right. I'm buying, folks. Like I said, if it's 73,000, I'm going to time the market. Or is the Saudi prince about ready to come and ape in and buy $1 million Bitcoin individually? And you're going to see a freaking God candle. XRP Bitcoin transaction. What's that? Ryan, can you please explain what in the earth is going on with XRP and its value in Bitcoin software? Gosh, never heard anything about that, my friend. Can't imagine that XRP is going to add any value to Bitcoin, but I do have my shitcoin trading for Bitcoin, my friend. The only time I ever trade normally is with bots outside of just like a couple $100 here and there. My bots trade shitRP for Bitcoin. So every time they make a trade, they are taking profits and they're paying me profits in Bitcoin. And that profit goes right into my HODL bag. So XRP makes my Bitcoin bag bigger, but as far as it making anybody rich, you know, hell, I didn't think Shiba was going to make anybody rich when I was the first YouTuber to make a video on Shiba. And, you know, a simple couple $100 would have made me a multimillionaire. So who knows? But XRP does have like a $60 billion market cap. Simply Bitcoin says, just in, Fred Krueger explains how Bitcoin will be the best performing asset over the next decade and how people are under invested. If I think it's going to $1 million, I don't want to sell at 300,000 or at 200,000. I want to wait till it gets to $1 million. I don't ever plan to sell my Bitcoin. I'm just going to borrow against it and I'm going to loan it out to suckers who are too stupid to buy it right now at 70K.
So I'm prepared to hold Bitcoin for a decade. It's not a problem. And if I think it's going to $1 million, I don't want to sell it at 300,000 or 200,000. I want to wait until it gets to $1 million. So okay. I think that's sort of your the intermediate target, the target that you really need to focus on is $1 million, right? I really think we're going to get to Bitcoin 1 million. I would say a 99% probability that we get there. How long does it take? I don't think it's going to take much more than 10 years to get there. So I think that's an enormous opportunity from here with Bitcoin at, 67,000, right? I mean, nothing else is going to get you there. You buy a house. I don't know where you live. Where do you live, Nico? What general area of the universe do you live in?
Miami.
Okay. I don't think a Miami condo is going to go up, 10x in the space of a decade. It might go up 2x, right? But it's not going to go up 10x. So I think you have to look at it over, let's say, a decade from here. I think Bitcoin is going to be your best performing asset over the next decade. So if you buy it right here today. So you don't need to have owned it earlier. You don't need to have gotten it early. Right here is a great time to buy, in my opinion. And now the question is, how much of your net worth do you put in that, right? And I would
99%,
say,
90%.
I would do your own research and figure out, what you think and, relative to your comfort zone and stuff. But, I think that if you put 1%, that's not the right number, right? Because you don't have ideas of, you don't have 99 ideas that are equivalent to Bitcoin. At least I don't, right? You might maybe think NVIDIA is going to be a great buy. Maybe you think Miami real estate is going to be a good buy. I don't know. But if I had to put a portfolio together and I'm going to put, 5% in Bitcoin and 95% in Miami real estate and energy stocks, I think there's something wrong with that portfolio construction. I mean, if I knew what Bitcoin was going to do, I would move those things around pretty much the exact opposite, So I just think that people are underinvested in this asset. And, you can't talk people into getting to what they have outside of their comfort zone. But, I do think that the more you own, the better of this thing. And especially if you're young,
especially if you're young. I was talking to Hernando about this earlier, right? A lot of people go, this is what I watched a lot of people do, including myself, right? Was, man, I'm only making, enough to put $500 away into Bitcoin every month. It's just not enough, man. So they do is they start buying their first Bitcoin. They maybe get $1,000 into it. And then they go, wow, I can trade, right? And they watch a few videos, they learn a few indicators, and the market's bullish, right? So they start trading long in a bull market. We can throw the live chat up here on the screen. A lot of these people have been with me for a very long time, like 4 or 5 years. How many people in the live chat right now thought they were pro traders last bull run? Or at some point in their crypto journey, there was a point where they were trading and they were making money and were like, yes, dude, this is my ticket out of the rat race. I know I was. I definitely was, right? And then in a bull market and everything's going up, right? It's not hard. You can literally throw a dart. Here, do this. If you got a dartboard at home, right? If you go on to CoinMarketCap and you say, whatever you throw a dart at, like if it hits 1, go on to CoinMarketCap and see the coin with the highest market cap, right? So like if you throw a dart at a dartboard and you hit 1, it's Bitcoin. Number 2 would be Ethereum. Number 3 would be whatever coin, right? And take out the stable coin. So if Tether's like the 3rd highest market cap coin, get rid of that. And then the next coin becomes number 3, right? And if you were to take $10,000 and you go back to the start of last bull run, let's just say 2020, anytime in 2020, let's go back to 2019. You start at the beginning of 2019 and you throw 10 darts at a dartboard and you were to put $1,000 into each project It doesn't matter. I did this with my son. It doesn't matter where you throw that dart or where that dart hits on that dartboard. You're going to turn 10,000 and probably into 100,000, almost guaranteed. Didn't matter as long as you hit one of the top. I'm just talking about the top 20 projects. You didn't have to go do research and look for shitcoins because everything goes up. So many people think that they're good at trading because it's a bull market and everything's going up. And then when the market turns around, they get absolutely obliterated. Point in case, one of my good buddies, Kite Crypto, he's probably one of the best traders that I've ever met in my life. This guy's turned 100,000. He turned $100 live trading on YouTube into $100,000 in around 30 something days, like 35 days. And he did it. He was doing a challenge to show people, right? Where he takes money and he deposits it in an exchange. And that exchange tracks all your inflows and outflows. So you can see that he only put $100 into that account. And he turned 100 into 100,000. And he did it live trading with everybody. Gosh damn it, I hate when those dumb things come up there and I freeze. Give me 1 second. I did it a second time. Turned 1,000. This time was $1,000 to $100,000 challenge. And I think he did that one in less than 30 days. And then he started the third one. And in the process of starting that third one, he decided he was going to do trading classes and teach people how to trade. He got so many signups in the first 24 hours that he had to shut it down. And he basically had to close his channel for a while because for like 12 hours a day, he was doing nothing but 4-hour training sessions. And I want to say he made enough to buy himself a Benz in like a month and a half teaching these classes. When we came into the bear market, I watched Kite struggle. He's really strict, has a really good strategy, but nowhere near turning 100 to 100,000 in 30 days or 45 days or even 90 days for that matter. Like it was tough trading in a bear market, and he's one of the best, most disciplined traders. He has a plan. He trades the plan always. So I want a lot of people that are watching this right now to understand that if you have the opportunity to make money and you're a single male and you have the ability to get out and hustle and do any type of side hustle, by all means, folks, get out and side hustle. Drew, if we see Drew in here, I haven't seen Drew over here in a minute. Drew's one of my OG subscribers. He was working, I think, at Taco Bell. And this was back in 2000. When was that? 2021, 2022? And we started to go into that bear market. And I said, if anybody in here is willing to go and get a second job and you're willing to work at McDonald's, and McDonald's paying like $19 or $20 an hour. Minimum wage right now at McDonald's is like 19 or 20 bucks. It's insane. So if you can go get a second job and you work 40 hours and you do that nothing but for the next 2 years, put that money into Bitcoin, and you could put a small percentage if you want into some other coins. By next bull run, by the peak of next bull run, that gentleman will never work a day in his life. His kids will never work. His girlfriend will never work. He will be living such a lifestyle that most people can only dream of. And he only had to sacrifice what? Maybe 2-3 years working 2 jobs, working an extra 40 hours a week. So if you have the ability to go out and hustle, you can flip stuff on eBay, garage sale, whatever you got to do to generate more money, you're so much better off doing that because it's guaranteed. It's guaranteed that you're going to get a $500 paycheck every week and you're going to get $500 worth of Bitcoin every week. And if you're lucky, you can do it rapidly because these ETFs are bringing in more money in Bitcoin than I think they ever imagined. I don't think anybody ever thought that we'd be putting in a new all-time high before the next halving. So in less than 30 days, the next Bitcoin halving happens, where the amount of Bitcoin that's getting paid out to the miners is going to get cut in half by 50%. Elon and Twitter has not started buying Bitcoin like last time. Tesla hasn't. Apple hasn't. Google hasn't. Amazon hasn't. All of these players will have no choice but to accept Bitcoin. Walmart, maybe they're going to put out Lightning nodes. That would be a game changer. If somebody like Walmart started accepting Bitcoin, game over. Game over. And you could use the Lightning Network and shop with Bitcoin. Shit. My strategy then, right now, I say you need to have 3 months worth of bills of fiat, dirty fiat in your bank account. If that happened, you could literally probably go down to 2 months, which is crazy to think about. So do me a huge favor, folks. Let's jump into this next article. Smash that like button. I'll quit yapping. I wanted to talk to this one because we're talking about some traders maybe getting wrecked. So top traders right now are entered leverage longs, which means they are betting with leverage. and they are paying a premium every month or every 8 hours to leverage trade. You basically pay into a pot. Most of the time, if you're long, you're paying a certain percentage. Like right now, it's like 0.01 something percent to be long on Bitcoin right now. And if you're short, you're actually getting paid leverage. So every 8 hours, they pay into this kitty, and it kind of balances itself out. But when traders are short on Bitcoin, which a lot are because we're at a new all-time high, when they're short and price goes up and they get liquidated, it forces them to buy back that crypto at a higher price. And then it's like this cascading ripple effect up, and then it'll come back down, right? So pay attention. There's a lot of people about to get wrecked. Demand for BTC futures soars to 35 billion, but option markets show no sign of excessive optimism. Bitcoin hits a new all-time high at 73,600 on March 13th, making a 44% gain in 16 days. The surge reflects the increasing demand for spot Bitcoin exchange-traded funds, aka ETFs, listed in the United States, which saw a record $1 billion in net flows, folks. $1 frickin' billion. How based is that? It's so frickin' cool. Traders are questioning whether Bitcoin can reach 80,000, giving the professional traders are continuing to add bullish leverage positions. Now, is Bitcoin being used as an inflationary hedge? I mean, I think so. Some analysts argue that Bitcoin at $72,797 is being utilized as a hedge against U.S. monetary policy, especially following the 3.2% increase in the consumer price index in February compared to the previous. Consequently, this pressure on the U.S. Federal Reserve to refrain from cutting interest rates further, adding to the risk of an economic recession as companies have fewer incentives to expand and hire. All right, so the Federal Reserve is planning on putting you on the unemployment line. Now, conversely, if the pessimistic scenario materializes with inflation accelerating and the Fed compelled to raise rates further, which we called a long time ago, this could prove detrimental for risk on assets, including Bitcoin. Bullshit. During periods of uncertainty, investors tend to seek refuge in short-term U.S. treasuries and cash positions, even if they have strong long-term convictions in the stock market or real estate. Therefore, whether Bitcoin's current bull run has the potential to surpass 80,000 hinges on the adoption of spot ETF instruments as a store of value and a potential shift in Bitcoin's risk assessment. Now, before 2024, Bitcoin was not especially accessible to the majority of mutual funds and wealth managers. Additionally, regulatory uncertainty and classification as a commodity were major concerns, but this changed after the approval of the U.S. spot Bitcoin ETF on January 11th. Now, over the past 2 weeks, U.S. listed spot BTC ETFs products have attracted nearly $5 billion in capital, solidifying the industry as a top contender for the institutional capital. Now, nonetheless, some analysts are concerned that the excessive leverage on Bitcoin futures poses a looming risk of liquidity and subsequent price corrections. Now, Bitcoin's aggregated futures open interest reached its highest level ever at $35 billion on March 13th. Moreover, top traders at a crypto exchange continue to initiate leverage longs. Let me throw this up on the screen so you guys can see it. The long to short indicator consolidated positions across spot perpetuals and monthly future contracts, providing a comprehensive view of these traders' bullish or bearish sentiments. That's freaking nuts. The data suggests that whales and market makers at Binance OKX increased their net long positions between March 10th and 13th. Furthermore, the consolidated metric reached its peak in 30 days, potentially indicating excessive confidence. However, it would be premature to consider that the risk of a Bitcoin price crash has increased. Now, for instance, arbitrage desks might be using future markets to anticipate strong inflows into spot Bitcoin ETFs, creating a temporary buffer for demand known as authorized participants. These institutional investors are authorized by the issuer to create and redeem ETF shares. Hence, The increased demand for leverage could reflect a temporary situation due to the ETF inflows, right? Now, what's crazy about this, and what I keep thinking about, oops, wrong one. How is somebody buying 7,000 something Bitcoin every single day? And they've been doing that pretty much for, I don't know how long, weeks, months. How is Bitcoin's price not at 100K at all? I can't explain. So Bulldag says, I can't explain why I believe XRP is a sleeping issue. Well, I don't know about a sleeping issue. I just know XRP is a shitcoin. I mean, it's a globalist controlled. I mean, like betting on, like rooting and championing XRP is like championing the World Economic Forum. I mean, literally every single member of their board of directors is part of the World Economic Forum. So, I mean, I've never been a fan of XRP. I don't know if it's having issues. I do trade it, right? I trade my shit RP for Bitcoin. So I'm a fan. I want it to go up. I want it to keep going up with Bitcoin. So now Bitcoin derivatives reflect moderate excitement. To confirm whether professional traders are overly confident, one should cross-check data from Bitcoin option markets. Now, the 25% delta skew is telling signs when arbitrage desk and market makers overprice upside or downside potential. In essence, if traders anticipate a Bitcoin drop in price, and I'll just put this back up on screen for you guys. If Bitcoin traders overprice upside or downside protection, in essence, if traders anticipate Bitcoin price drops, the skew metric will rise above 7%, while periods of excitement tend to be negative 7%. So not really sure where we're at there. Bitcoin, the Bitcoin options 25% delta skew is currently hovering around optimistic levels, but still within the negative 7% range. Therefore, excessive optimism seems concentrated in future markets as put options trade only at a 6% discount compared to equivalent call options. Such data suggests that demand for Bitcoin futures does not imply reckless or heightened risk of cascading landslides. While there is no guarantee Bitcoin will surpass 80,000 in the near term, Bitcoin derivative metrics indicate confidence as traders are pricing in similar risks for unexpected upward and downward moves. Upward and downward moves. What do you guys think? Where do you guys think Bitcoin's going? Let's jump over here to the live chat and say what up to everybody. Intentional, my man. They will kill XRP. Apple guy says XRP equals trash. Yeah, man, XRP is a knob coin. Definitely a knob coin. Now, I mean, I don't know. I root for all cryptos, but, you know, XRP is definitely the one where it's like the people that have been holding, you know, we did it last bull run at the end of the bull run when we were short and everything. And I left $1,000 in there. And if you go back and find that stream, I bet you hear me saying like, listen, bro, why would I hold on to an asset that's going to go 90% off? I would sell it. And I'm going to prove it to you. I'm going to leave the $1,000 in this account and I'm going to take this $1,000 and I'm going to make moves with it. You keep your $1,000. I think at the time I was calling out Cardano. You keep your $1,000 in Cardano. I'll take my 1,000. I'll sell my Cardano and I'll trade with mine or I'll make moves with mine. So instead of my Cardano sitting in my wallet going 90% off or 98% off, I'm going to take that and I'm going to use it to make moves. And then we turned 1,000 into 565,000 in like 12 months. Actually, it was like 6 months or maybe even less than that. It was quick. It was from whatever that crash was, which was like May 17th. And then by November 28th, when Cadena put in an all-time high at $28, we were sitting at about 500 something thousand. So yeah, that's where I'm going with this. I don't even know where I'm going. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Let me get in the next video, guys. Smash that like button. I was just come over here to the live chat to say what up. That's what I was doing. Blue says, yup, XRP and Doge get all new people into crypto on hopium. Yes, it is. Pipes and dreams, hopes and dreams, baby. That's what XRP is all about. But hey, we can't hate them, man. I'm a fan of it. I hold XRP. Do I think XRP is going to make you $1 million? No. But look what happened to Bitcoin, right? I don't know everything. I honestly, I don't. I just don't like the fact that the entire XRP team's on the World Economic Forum. Just rubs you the wrong way. It makes you feel like slimy and sleazy just holding it in your wallet. Other than that, right? If people make a shit ton of money on XRP, it's going to blow up. And what are they going to do? They're going to take it. Once it hits a certain point, they're going to move all that into Bitcoin. So it's like, it's not going to be bad for Bitcoin. I don't see it being bad in any way. XRP is never going to replace Bitcoin as the international, global reserve currency. Just not possible. But do I think XRP could 10x if BlackRock started doing what they're doing for Bitcoin? Oh my gosh, could you imagine? And they've already applied for it. So if the XRP completely settles their lawsuit and then they get approval, or BlackRock gets approval for a Bitcoin ETF, I mean, that's freaking gangster. I mean, those people will make, if you think Bitcoin's has a lot of money coming into it, that would probably be actually, I guess, probably a little bit bad for Bitcoin in a way, because people would see XRP with more upside potential short term than Bitcoin. So you could see insane amounts of money flow into XRP. But, they sold me that pipe dream in 2017. I was buying XRP in 2015, actually, and I had a fuck ton of it. And then not your keys, not your crypto, left it all on Poloniex exchange. Probably had a little bit on Cryptopia too, but my big bags were on Cryptopia and then, or on Poloniex. And then when the USA got rid of US regulations, or they came in with all those gay new regulations, they sent you an email, right? But I was busy running my business, out doing shit. That was an old email that I set up specifically for crypto. Those old emails that you kind of barely use. But I had set one up for crypto where I created all my crypto accounts. And I wasn't big into crypto. I was running a business. I had cashed out. I'd taken about 100K out of the 2017 bull run. Started a business, had my business just booming. And my plan was to take that money and put it back into crypto, right, from the business. And I had all this crypto sitting on Poloniex. And then I got an email. But me not checking that email, not thinking I needed to, I just knew I had a big bag of coins on there. The bull run was started. I was putting money from all the other exchanges that I had grabbed. I just hadn't checked my Poloniex wallet. Because I knew if I looked at it, I would go, oh yeah, where can I put that? When you're up a ton of money, you're like, oh, I'm going to throw money at this, I'm going to throw money at that. I'm like, nope. I know back then I wasn't buying shitcoins outside of Doge. I did have a little Doge I bought in 2015. But I was like, oh, I'm just going to leave it there and I'm not going to look at it. And then when I feel like we're at that point that we're getting to the peak of altcoin season, I'm going to open that wallet and just be like, yeah, what am I going to buy now? Where am I going to take these profits at? And I went to open my account and a thing prompted up on the screen and says, you don't have access to USA users or something like that no longer have access to their account. We've sent you an email. And I go, email? You sent me a fucking email? And I was just like, and it went in my wallet. It was like, I don't know, like 13 something or 14 something. It's either 14, like 37. If you go back to 2019, you look at when Cardano was 2 cents or a penny and a half, literally that exact freaking week, they converted all of my crypto into USDT or USDC. Yeah, and I didn't know. So we're literally, I think Bitcoin was around like 30 or 40K at the time. Yeah, I got wrecked there, guys. So, your crypto, I got my money, right? Like they didn't steal my crypto, but they converted it all to a stable coin in the absolute bottom of a bear market. It'd be equivalent to like Bitcoin hitting 15,000 today and me having that $565,000 portfolio and then them selling it when Bitcoin was at 15,000 and literally my entire portfolio was down to like 40 grand. So you leave your money on exchanges, things like that can happen. I went, it was like this time of the year, this time of the season, and I was going out and I was doing all the low cap gem hunting on Cryptopia. It was one of the newer exchanges back then. I don't think it was new. It was around for like a year and a half or something. But it was really smooth user interface, really easy to use. You could set up an account with an email. Everybody was using it. And lo and behold, same thing. We went into that bear market and then the government decided to seize that exchange. So I think, yeah, BDAG. So, at any time, right, when you guys see me with my bots and my bots are trading, I am fully aware and fully understand that at any point, that could be all gone, folks. I mean, in a snap of a finger, one major hack where they can't get it back, or God only knows, a government going in and seizing enough of their assets to completely disrupt that company. It's very possible. I mean, our government's so corrupt and they wanted to destroy Binance and CZ so bad. I would not put it past this tyrannical government from going into Binance US and trying to seize all the assets on that exchange. CZ even put out a warning for us, warning us. But I think that got settled. I think that's all done and taken care of now. But those are the things you have to keep in the back of your mind, because not your keys, not your crypto, folks. I'm going to quit talking. We got a lot to get through. Joe, he goes by Joe, Consorti. Joe Consorti over on X says Bitcoin ETF one-day inflows topped $1 billion for the first time. The same day CPI logged above 3% in its 36th month, and Yellen admitted defeat. It's no coincidence. As it becomes clear, price stability will never return. The mad dash for BTC will accelerate, folks. This is what we're talking about. Let's get it.
So it's being speculated that futures positions are getting dumped every single day in order to push the price of Bitcoin down before Wall Street buys the ETFs. Well, this is corroborated by the fact that on weekends, as you can see here, marked by these red circles, liquidations in the futures market are very few and far between. So this gives us a bit of a hint as to what Wall Street might be doing. Either way, if they're doing this, if they're not doing this, the reality is Wall Street's appetite is only accelerating. So all 10 Bitcoin ETFs combined saw a record $1 billion in total inflows just yesterday on March 12th, 2024, a Tuesday. That marks the first day ever that the total net inflows into these 10 spot Bitcoin ETF products was over $1 billion. Now, to give you some kind of sense of relativity for what those flows mean, that's roughly 13,700 Bitcoin a day at yesterday's rate with current prices. Only 900 Bitcoin are being produced on a daily basis, so Wall Street is buying about 15.2 times more Bitcoin than is being produced. This is remarkable, and you could bet that this passive flow into Bitcoin is only going to continue accelerating as more brokerages come online and start offering these products. Demand ramps up. Again, I've said this in videos and blogs time and time again on my Twitter, that as these products become more popular, as more people see that Bitcoin Sharpe ratio is better than any asset year to date. It is better, not only risk-adjusted returns, but better absolute returns than any asset year to date. Portfolio managers, financial advisors, the world over are going to begin recommending Bitcoin, and these ETF inflows are only going to accelerate. So this is the first $1 billion inflow day, but it certainly, by every measurement, will not be the last. The next thing on the block is that Janet Yellen said inflation isn't as transitory as they first expected. Take a listen to this clip.
In 2021, you did say that inflation was transitory. Do you regret saying that now?
I regret saying it was transitory. It has come down, but I think transitory means a few weeks or months to most people.
So Janet Yellen says she regrets saying inflation was transitory. Ouch! But it might be a little bit too little too late if we're being honest. Guys, this is the 9th month in a row that CPI inflation has been stuck above 3% and hasn't been able to fall underneath it. Now, you guys know the long run historical average for price inflation. The Fed tries to keep it at 2%, which in and of itself is disgusting. Modern monetary theory, this notion that if prices didn't go up, people would stop buying things. Unfortunately, that is the theory around which our economy is constructed and our monetary policy is conducted. You'll see here, I created the range between 2.5% to about 1% that the Fed usually likes to keep CPI inflation. I highlighted that range with the dashed line in light blue there. And I put up CPI and core CPI. Now you'll notice both of these, right? CPI, of course, includes food and energy, so it's a little bit more volatile. Both of these things have been stuck above 3%. The Fed hates that. It doesn't like that very much. And of course, what that has done, that has led to rise in the slope of price increases. Of course, that makes sense, right? If price inflation is always around the 2% area and for more than 3 years at this point, price inflation has been above 3%, of course, the rate of change of prices is going to rise. And people are noticing it, and they're not liking it whatsoever. A new study showed, well, this is not a new study. It's been a continuous poll given by Gallup. And essentially, they ask American voters, what is the #1 problem that you're facing? And the percentage of Americans mentioning economic issues as the nation's most important problem has risen to 30%. And in fact, it is the most important issue for most Americans. You'll take a look at this chart here. As of February 2024, course, at the time of this recording. The economy in general, economic problems, of course, including high cost of living and inflation, the federal budget, taxes, unemployment, that remains the key issue for most Americans. And of course, the only way to get this down is through a recession. The only way to get price inflation down after it's sticky is through a recession. Janet Yellen has admitted as much. She says that inflation decline might not be smooth, and that's a pretty light way of putting it. Take a look at this chart here. This is the last one I'll leave you with today. Recessions are what help inflation get unstuck. So I highlighted every single period back to the 1990s where price inflation was elevated above the Fed's desired target. You'll note that in roughly around that late 80s, early 90s timeframe, price inflation was around 6% yearly. The Fed didn't want it there, and you'll see in those red bars, a recession is what helped get it unstuck. A recession obviously led to people spending far less. Well, people spending far less is what leads to a recession, but you get my point. An economic slowdown, people spending less, that makes inflation go lower. Of course, people get thrown out of their jobs, but that's besides the point. You'll see here the exact same dynamic was at play during the dot-com bubble. Price inflation was around 4%. The only thing that helped get it unstuck and fall back down to the Fed's desired target at the time was a recession. You could see in those red bars. And then, of course, the Great Recession. Price inflation was above 4%, between 4% and 6%. Terrible. The only thing that helped get it unstuck was a recession. And of course, in 2020, the exact same thing happened. And that's going to be the same case here, guys, right? For 9 months now, and I put red dashes there as well so you could see the range, we've been stuck above 3%. And the reality of the situation is we're going to see a recession in order for this to come down, which means unemployment, which means people spending less. Cycles resolve in the exact same way. And while people believe that, oh, this cycle might be different, we may be able to get price inflation back down to the 2% target without a huge spike in unemployment, it's just not the case. It's never happened. I have a pinned tweet. You can see in my profile that the mentions, the news headlines of a soft landing always surge. They always surge in anticipation of the resolution of an economic cycle, but it always ends up being hard, i.e., people get thrown out of work, prices fall through the floor, and it resolves in more and more fiscal and monetary stimulus, which could also be one of the reasons why there are record daily inflows into Bitcoin ETFs. More and more people are recognizing that Bitcoin is their hedge against what is inevitable, and that is fiscal and monetary stimulus, monetary debasement in order to stimulate the economy and get.
Bingo, 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 folks. Our government is going to print your children's life savings away. Francesco, my man, K79 Club, my man. K79 means that Francesco needs Cadena to hit $79 and he becomes a millionaire. Congratulations, my friend. That is a great, great accomplishment, man. Proud of you, buddy. How's your Bitcoin bags looking, though? We got to keep getting our Bitcoin bags up. Swan, Michael Saylor warned us at Pacific Bitcoin, and he was right. Did you stack Bitcoin accordingly? Really, I want people to pay attention here. This is super important. Actually, before I play that one, let me help you take a trip down the memory lane we call the Federal Reserve. So this is Scottish Warrior. He goes on X. He goes by @ScottishWarrior17. He said the Federal Reserve explained in 3 minutes. So people that are new to crypto and really are starting to understand how monetary policy works for the first time and inflation and what it means to save in a hard asset and what hard currency actually is, or hard money, this will really help it out. Big shout out to Scottish Warrior.
Issuing their own United States notes backed by their own credit, they issue treasury bonds. They then sell these bonds to the Federal Reserve, which buys them with money they created out of thin air. The money that the Fed created then goes to the U.S. The U.S. then pays interest on the money that the Fed lent to the Treasury. So to clarify, the Fed creates money from nothing, loans that money to the U.S., and then charges interest on that money. What this means is that there is never and will never be enough money in circulation or in existence to pay back that debt. We as a country, as well as private citizens, are forever enslaved by debt with no way of ever paying it off. Now, when the Federal Reserve buys bonds on Wall Street, the major financial firms that have been selected as dealers deposit the proceeds at their own banks. Fed rules require banks to keep 10% of their deposits in reserves, but the bank is free to issue loans equal to the remaining 90%. Let's say the Federal Reserve buys a $1,000 bond. After putting away 10% into their reserves, they are then able to loan out 90%, or $900. Since the original $1,000 is still on deposit, the $900 in loan proceeds is more new money, money created out of nothing. A total of $1,900 of new money is now available in the economy. Now the person that took the $900 loan spends that money. The payee then deposits the $900 into their bank account, and once again, reserves and deposits increase. This process goes on until that original $1,000 bond, which was created from nothing, becomes $10,000, making this one full-fledged debt machine while also devaluing the dollar. The more money that is out in the economy, the more the value decreases. There's no wonder that since the implementation of the Federal Reserve in 1913, the dollar has lost over 95% of its value. The US dollar will eventually be destroyed due to an overwhelming financial crisis, and a globalist-run monetary authority will come along to save the day. And much like the Fed pretends that its goal is to prevent another Great Depression, the global currency will pledge to prevent another financial crisis, thus putting more...
Imagine that, folks. Imagine that. Now let's jump in this tweet from Saylor. It'll help. It'll make a lot more sense. This was by Swan over at X. They go by SWAN. Swan. Michael Saylor warned at Bitcoin Pacific, and he was right. Did you stack Bitcoin accordingly? Let's check it out.
They're going to keep printing money, right? You know, you think we're tightening momentarily in the U.S., but they're not going to tighten in the rest of the world. They're going to print money in every single country. All their currencies are going to continue to weaken. You know, the Fed took us into a steep nosedive, nearly crashed the currency when they took the interest rates from 280 basis points to 180 to 5 basis points on the 1 year. And then they pulled up and they brought the interest rate from 12 basis points up to 470 basis points on a 1-year treasury in 12 months. And it's kind of like that strafing run in Maverick when the guy goes down in the valley, nearly crashes, and pulls up and pulls 10 Gs and just about rips the wings off the plane. And that's what we're doing, except we're doing it with the entire $500 trillion economy right now. And we've got to the point where the pilots are blacking out. Okay? We just saw it with Liz Truss in the UK, where they pulled up, the interest rate got a 5 handle. First they fired the Chancellor of the Exchequer, then they fired the Prime Minister, right? And that was a lesson to every other politician, and you can imagine Jerome Powell and the rest, they're looking, they're like, I don't think the economy of the world will take much more of the pulling up. They're gonna have to take their hand off the stick, loosen up a bit, otherwise they're gonna crash every single economy. And as they do it, we're going to see more inflation. That inflation is going to continually be a marketing driver. And the combination of those three things are going to play out against the new reality, which is Bitcoin is the only digital commodity. It is the only crypto asset. There is no second best crypto asset.
Bingo, folks. Bingo. Bitcoin, not crypto, my friends. You guys will learn. You guys will learn real quick. Bitcoin, not crypto. I want to get into, I got one more clip I want to play. Actually, I got one more clip I really want to play. Bitcoin Hodl tweets out, Bitcoin selling is finished. So pay attention to this one, folks. This is really critical. GBT launched their BTC. So selling drops and may eventually abruptly stop.
I just want a quick Grayscale announcement where they're launching a baby fund underneath the ticker that they own, which is BTC. Soon you'll be able to go into your broker account, just type in BTC, not FBTC, not IBIT, not GBTC, BTC, and be able to buy Bitcoin ETF straight into their fund. There's a couple important things here, and I can't talk for long because right now, the reason why I haven't been doing too many videos is that I'm in the middle right now of structuring my portfolio and positioning them before the halving. And during this sort of period, me personally, I can't really put out too much energy. I need to conserve that energy and wait until my portfolio is built. But I wanted to get this out there because I think it's quite important. And yesterday I made a prediction on Twitter that we would see we could see the selling pressure from GBTC that was going $500 million, $400 million yesterday immediately cease with this announcement, because that's how important this announcement is. What have they done here? What they've said is we're going to launch a baby fund, like a sub fund in essence, right? Where we'll be able to seed that fund with some of GBTC shares that from the holders that own GBTC shares, and that new fund will be having lower fees comparable to IBIT and FBTC, et cetera, et cetera. So what does this do for investors? Well, if you're holding GBTC, like I was holding GBTC, and I was paying a 1.5% fee for them to hold my Bitcoin, I had to pivot out of that because the other funds are 0.2%. So for every $1 million, I'm paying $12,000 a year for no reason, right? So I pivoted out, but now there are GBTC holders who are stuck in for tax reasons, for whatever reasons that they have, that they got to still hold the asset of GBTC. They've now been given a cherry here, where GBTC has said, okay, what we're going to do is launch this sub fund, and we're going to take a portion. I didn't even know this was possible. We're going to take a portion of your GBTC position and seed the new fund BTC with it. So for example, let's say you had $1,000 of GBTC, you may wake up and you got $500 of GBTC, $500 of BTC, except on that $500 of BTC, you're paying a 0.2% fee versus the 1.5% on the GBTC. And this basically tells an investor like, okay, I think that's pretty fair and I'm pretty happy with that. I don't need to take the tax hit. I'm going to get a reduction in my fees on a certain percentage of my holdings. And look what happened. Yesterday I said, I'm looking forward to seeing how these outflows cease up. We had $400 million worth of outflows. Today, GBTC's outflows are $40 million. A 10x reduction. And yesterday was also fantastic because we had $1 billion of net inflows into the funds, and it was like $750, $800 million just for BlackRock alone. And so what's going on here, this is extremely important to pay attention to, because what's going on here is that they are dumping the futures markets, and Zero Hedge has a really good write-up on this. They're dumping the futures prices. People are selling because they're absolutely terrified of what's about to happen. And then the ETFs are gobbling up that Bitcoin at a rip of $1 billion a day. This is so much demand. It's unbelievable. Just to put that into perspective, during the last bull run, all of the capital going in, based on all of my understanding, is like $25 to $35 billion. And right now we're ramping up before the halving to $1 billion of purchasing going on a daily basis just through the ETFs. This is before we get to the sovereign nations, before we get to the oil nations,
hear that?
before we get to the private family offices, before we get to retail, before we get to options markets and market makers on the options side. So this is so fucking bullish. No one's ever even imagined it would be this bullish. If we get $1 billion a day worth of net inflows, you're talking in a year, $252 billion going into these funds, which would take us to a price level we have not even imagined, right? It would take us to a price level that we have not even imagined at this point.
Yeah, Blue. Everybody's talking about Huron token. I'm going to talk about that. We're almost done with the show. We got a few minutes left. Let's end it on this. Not ending the show, but the Bitcoin aspect of it. And then we can get into whatever shitcoins you guys want to talk about. So I want to talk about a friend who reached out a little while ago. This was last year, right when I started at LFA TV. And D might have been there in my second show on LFA TV. I taught people about the 5 characteristics of money, right? And why Bitcoin is the apex predator above gold and definitely above fiat, right? You don't want the Lambo, right? If somebody's like, hey man, I'm going to give you a Lambo for free. You're like, oh hell yeah, Lambo, baby. I've always wanted a Lambo. And then a couple days before you're about to get the Lambo, they go, hey man, I'm sorry. The Lambo sold out. I can get you a Ferrari though. You're like, all right, I'll take the Ferrari. Even if the Lambo was your dream car and you plan on that car and somebody's going to give you a Ferrari instead of a Lambo, you're going to take it. Why? Because you want the services that the Lambo provides. You want to drive fast. You want to look cool in front of your friends. You want to brag to your buddies. You want to, pick up hot chicks. A Ferrari and a Lambo will provide you those same services. Now, when you talk about money, right? Money has 5 characteristics: divisibility, scarcity, portability. I don't even know what all 5 of them are right now. It's been a while since I did that. But you want recognizability and Yeah, I already said durability. But you want to be able to recognize it, meaning you want to make sure that somebody can't counterfeit it, right? So like on a dollar, you can look at the serial numbers on a dollar, or you can take a marker, and mark it. You want it to be durable, which means I can't pay you in apples, right? You can't put apples in a safe. You want to be able to transport it, right? Now, this is where fiat currency is a little bit better than gold because, moving $1 billion in gold or, a couple $100 million in gold, it's probably pretty heavy. It's probably hard to hide and you become a target. Scarcity, right? Gold, when gold price goes up, what happens? All of the miners start mining. I mean, this one's really easy, right? So it's easy to understand how Bitcoin becomes the apex currency in any market. No questions asked. So in my second show on LFA, Bitcoin was around 20,000. I started there in the beginning of March, right? Almost over a year ago today. I think I started there in February. My first show was on at CPAC of 2023. So whatever that was. A friend reached out and he says, "Hey man, I want to get into Bitcoin. What should I do? How should I go about it?" And he goes, I can't move my 401k. And I go, "Why?" He goes, "Well, I can't." I go, "Well, I cashed out my entire 401k and put into crypto." He goes, "Yeah, but I'm going to pay a 25% fee." And I go, "So let me get this right. You don't want to cash out your entire 401k and put it into an asset that is appreciated by 192% every year for the last 15 years. You don't want to put your 401k into an asset that's going to appreciate at 192% per year because you're going to pay a 25% one-time fee?" So he reached out. So then he started sending me screenshots that he was moving his 401k into miner companies, right? And then I said MicroStrategy. He said if there's any one that I had to go into, it would have been MicroStrategy. And he goes, "Oh, I want to get exposure to some miners." I think he moved some into some miners and some other stuff. And I said, okay, I wouldn't do it if that was me. I would cash it out and I would pay the fine. So let's say you're watching the show right now and you got $67,000 in your 401k. I did some math for you, right? So if we take 67,000 and we times that by 25%, that means that if your 401k is sitting at 67,000 right now, you are going to be charged, if it's a 25% penalty, you're going to be charged $16,750 to cash out your 401k. That is going to leave you with right around 50,000. So I rounded down. We just said 50, right? So now we need to look at percentages. So if you would have sold day one when I put out my show and I told you guys to drain your 401ks and buy Bitcoin, right? 20,138 was the price of Bitcoin on March 13th of 2023. Today, it's $73,642. That is a 625% or 265% gain. 265% gain. So let me pull out my calculator. And we'll say if you would have put $50,000 times 2.65, your $50,000 today, after paying your fine, would be $132,500. Okay. Now let's talk about what happens, right, if Bitcoin goes to $1 million. What do you think the increase of that portfolio would have been worth if Bitcoin hits $1 million and you would have cashed it out at 20K? If you just had to take a guess, what would it be? I'll give you a hint. 20,000 to 1 million. If I'm doing this right, 4,865%. Might have been 480%. Might have to get out my calculator again. Now I'm looking at that number. I'm like, is that really 4,000%? 4,000%. 20,000 to 1 million. Is that 4,000%? I'm almost positive I got the math right on this. But let's do it live and let's just break it down and make sure I'm right on this. So we'll get out our percentage calculator. Oh, yeah, that one will work. So from blank, what is percentage of? No, this isn't the one I want. I have a really good percentage calculator that I always use, and I don't see it on here. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so from what I say, let's just say, we'll just round down. We'll just say 20,000 to 1 million. $20,000 to 1 million is, yeah, 4,900%. Okay, my numbers are right. I just wanted to double check and make sure before I told you guys the wrong numbers. So we're sitting here, right? 20,000 to 1 million, right? When Bitcoin hits $1 million, his portfolio would be worth $2.43 million, right? Worried about paying a 25% fee to cash out your 401k right now is the equivalent of going and getting quadruple boosted starting today. Like, in what realm or reality would you ever walk in to a pharmacy right now and go get yourself 4 more boosters, right? You would have to be mentally retarded. Like, I'm talking about Downey syndrome, like not all there in the head, to literally go, okay, so let's run this back one more time. Today, right? What is the price of Bitcoin today? 73,000. 73,000. Calculate that. That's 1,269%. 1,269%. Okay. You guys with me? So if you have $50,000 today in your 401k, and that's after, so if you had 67,000, you paid the fines, right? Times $1,269. Oops. Sorry, I did that wrong. 50,000 times, what is that? 12.69%. $634,000. 634,000, folks. Can you comprehend that? You heard my man right there. What did he say? It's $12,000 a year per million, something like that you're given to these exchanges or these ETFs. Somebody did, I forget the guy's name, but he had a really good analogy. Buying an ETF instead of buying Bitcoin is like going and buying tickets to a cruise line. And instead of going on the cruise line and going on the dream vacation that you've always wanted to go on to, the cruise liner goes, here's a VR headset. You're not getting on any cruise, but you're really going to enjoy it because it's just like the real thing. So go sit at home, put your VR headset on, and then actually during that cruise, since you're borrowing our VR headset, we're going to charge you like 5% interest. So you're going to pay us interest to sit on your couch and put on a VR headset instead of taking the time that it takes to understand Bitcoin and understand how to self-custody your wallet. And how long did it take us, Hernando? 2 hours? Was it 2 hours? I don't even know. It might have been only an hour. That me and Hernando, I jumped on a Zoom call with him. I walked him through, and not even where I could see his computer, right? He was talking to me on his phone while on his laptop, had never touched crypto before, no idea what crypto is. He now understands that he has a wallet that only he can access. He very, very aware. 2 hours. Very, very aware of how important it is that he has his private keys, right? So that he can access that wallet. Very aware of how important it is and how if he loses that password and those keys, that he's never getting his crypto wallet back. His crypto is gone forever. So Hernando is going all in, right? We bought him $5,000 worth of crypto last week. He's about to buy another 5K tonight because he understands that the government hates you and they don't like you and they're not here to help you. They're here to take advantage, rob, steal, and extort as much money as humanly possible from you. If they crush your family and destroy your family's legacy, by all means, they're going to do it. So, folks, do me a huge solid. Smash that like button. Let me let you in on a sponsor today. If you guys are outside of the US and you guys are looking to buy Bitcoin, here's a couple exchanges that you can do so on. And of course, in the USA, our regulators are just gay. They suck. So if you're in the US, you either got to turn on a VPN or you can't use these ones. But I need to grab something to drink. So let me run these ads real quick. We'll be right back. And today's sponsor is MEX Exchange. When we talk about fighting back against tyranny, there is no better way to do so, folks, than buying Bitcoin. And I mean it. Are you sick of putting your money into investment vehicles that are controlled and owned by BlackRock? Do you enjoy making BlackRock more rich? Do you enjoy letting the Joe Biden administration print away your family's life savings and funnel that money into woke causes that support the LGBTQ movement? I don't think so. I personally don't. There's a saying in the Bitcoin community, fix the money, fix the world. All of the corruption around the world stems from their ability to control money. They have the ability to debank you. But by choosing to interact with Bitcoin, you can take that power back. You can gain financial sovereignty. You can choose to withdraw from a corrupt economy. So support me, support this channel, support Matter of Fact. If you guys are in the United States of America, there's no better place to buy Bitcoin than MEX Exchange. My affiliate codes will be linked down in my link tree. There's also Binance. And if you are not in the USA, the best place to buy Bitcoin is Bybit. Today's sponsor is Bybit. Bybit is your one-stop shop for crypto trading, crypto investing, buying, learning. I've also built a step-by-step digital course which teaches you everything you need to know about buying crypto on Bybit, and not just buying crypto on Bybit, but trading strategies, setting up crypto trading bots. Bitcoin is the best way to fight against tyranny, to fight against government corruption, to fight back against the Federal Reserve printing trillions of dollars and depreciating everything that your family has worked for your entire life. So get yourself some Bitcoin. You should at least allocate a small percentage of it to your portfolio. Be a smart investor. Don't let the government take everything from you. Again, my name is Ryan Matta. Links to my affiliate codes are down in the description. Show this channel some love and go buy yourself some Bitcoin. Y'all ready, folks? Y'all ready for it? Shill them if you got them, baby. Shill them shitcoins if you got them. Let's chart them. You shill them, I'll chart them, baby. Let's get it. Just gotta turn that music down a little bit. Yeah, there we go. That seems to be a fair level. Why is it sounding funny? I think I turned it down too low. Or I got two musics playing. Is that all right? Is that background music good for you guys? Let's get it, baby. KDA, everybody says. KDA, we want to talk a little bit about Hero Token, too. We'll talk about that here in a second. Kadena Community's making some gains. The first official project is up and running, and Amir is absolutely crushing it. Let's take a look at Kadena, see what we're looking at here on the charts. Ooh, sitting at $1.90, baby. What do we hit? Oh, 203. Let's go. Let's go. Couple people in the LFA community stacking up Kadena at 50-something cents. Kimmy B did. She'll be my prime example when we talk about creating generational wealth. Check this out, folks. Kadena's next target after that rally, the next run up, is calling for price upwards of around $2.54. It's been consolidating here. We called this out the other day. Perfect bull flag, bull pennant, whatever you want to call it. Let me remove some indicators and show you what we're working with here, folks. We came down, confirmed support right there on the 50-day moving average or the 100-day moving average. That was the first time that price broke below since March 11th. It's not bad on a 4-hour time frame. Kadena is making its next move up. This next move, again, is going to be calling for price way to the upside. Let's take a look at RSI. Yeah, on the 4 hour, you still ain't even oversold on the 4 hour yet. Looks like she's gonna rip up one more time. And that next target's gonna be up there around $3 or $4 or around $2.50, $3. But again, we don't have any resistance on Cadena. So how fast is it gonna rip up at that next level? Where is it headed? Man, your guess is as good as mine. High, I think. Let me get on KuCoin because I know it's over there on KuCoin. Take a look at Cadena on KuCoin. Once it breaks above that 240 cents, I mean, every day you wait after that, you're kind of putting yourself in a really bad position because the next target up above there is 5. Like, there's no resistance. There's nobody, not many of us besides us degens that were buying this all the way down. But even then, people were kind of exhausted out and kept dropping, kept dropping, kept dropping. Where's Big Balls Barry at, man? Where's my man Barry? Big Balls Barry was waiting for 30 cents. He was so confident it was going to 30 cents. I have a feeling that Barry ain't got no KDA in his portfolio. What do you guys think? What are the over-under on Barry having no KDA? Phil says, look at the monthly chart on CoinX. 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 I only got TradingView, my man. I think Barry lost out from the sound of it. KDA on CoinX. KDA on CoinX. Here, I'll just look at it. I don't like going to other things. I'll just put it on the monthly chart here. Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. On CoinX Exchange. CoinX. There it is. Gotcha. Okay, so it's kind of the same thing as yeah, pretty much the same thing as KuCoin. Wow, that's gonna be sick, dude. This is gonna make people a lot of money this bull run. You can buy a lot of Bitcoin with all that KDA. Barry was an OG though. Barry was an OG. I haven't worked for anybody else in 25 years. That's it, baby. Switch chart to log. Switch chart to log. How do I do that again? It's been a minute. There used to be a log setting right there in the corner of the chart, didn't it? There it is. So there's your 1 month chart on the logarithmic scale. It'll probably look cooler on a day time frame. Oh no, it won't. You can't really get the good scale of it. Oh shit, what'd I do? That's badass, man. That's really freaking cool. Yeah, there it is. And next target's achievable, folks. 6 cents. Damn. 6, 11, 30, 43. Man, I was buying so much Cadena at that 43 cents price. Shit. I actually bought so much Cadena, I was just like, I can't do it anymore. And then I just flipped 100% all into Bitcoin. And that's all I've been buying really ever since. What else you guys got, folks? Shill them if you got them. What else we got? I see Near up there. Near it is, baby. Near it is. Near's on a ripper. Oh, man. Let's effing go. I need to turn these off a logarithmic. Near is off, taking off like a rocket. I need to get off the, I can't chart on the 1 month time frame. But Near is looking like it's headed right in route to our target. I would say Near, you're probably getting close to a little bit of a top on this cycle. Oh, maybe not. Let's take a look at the RSI. Oh yeah, you're oversold big time on Near, on your RSI. So Jeez, oh Pete, check out that Okay, I'm on the day time frame. Let me jump on the... That's the day time frame on near? Holy shit. Dude, this market is fucking nuts, guys. I don't know when the correction's going to come or if the Bitcoin's just going to pull everything up with it, but that's near on the daily time frame. Like when you're talking about a trader, right? Like this right here would be something that you would look at from a trader standpoint and go, holy shit. You know, you kind of missed the top. I don't know how far you are down from that top. Yeah, you're already 10% down on that trade. Geez, that's Damn, if I was shorting shit still right now, it's just dangerous as fuck to short in this type of market. Like, I don't feel like Bitcoin's exhausted its upside pressure. And even if you start shorting near right now and Bitcoin starts to rally, there's a very high probability that near is going right up with it, folks. What else you got? What else you guys got? We're over in the... Oh, shit. Let me jump over on the YouTube chat as well. I forget you guys are over there hanging out. I'll try to keep that off to the side. I don't have anywhere to put it. Oh, yeah, I can. I don't have to change my scenes right now. I can look over here. Let's do that. All right. What else you guys got? RKD Corbin, my man. How the hell are you? Johnny Drama, my man. Come join us over on Rumble, folks. The live chat over on Rumble is popping, and you guys should come and kick it with us in the free speech capital of the internet, folks. Come join us over on Rumble if you guys want to shill some coins. Corbin says KDA, Sentinel Finance and Crypto Education. My man says 1 billion in shorts will be liquidated at 76,000, bro. Let's go. Wait, 1 billion in shorts at 76? Oh, that's too good. That's too good. I just bought us a membership on Into the Block as well, so I want to show you guys some cool shit over here. Check this out, folks. So Into the Block, there's, you know, crypto is completely different than traditional finance because in crypto, you can do things that you just can't do, right? Everything's on the blockchain. So all data is trackable. So let's take a look at Bitcoin, for example. Actually, let me go down to the drop down here and go to predictions. No, I don't want to go to predictions. No, I don't want to go to predictions. I just want to go to, sorry, it's been a while. I'm going to try to get the CEO of Into the Block to come back on for an interview. He had came back on for an interview a while back, and it was such an amazing interview. I want to see Bitcoin. There's a bunch of indicators that I want to look. There we go. These are what I was looking for. The deep dives, right? So this is what they call into the money, right? And well, actually, this is not into the money. This shows the amount of Bitcoin that was bought at a specific price range and how much is still being held there. So people that bought between basically 9 cents and $680, there was a total of 3.62 million Bitcoin purchased in that range. And that's currently being held between 5.2 million Bitcoin wallet addresses, right? Over here, we got 680 to 5,000. There was a total volume of 1.29 million BTC bought, distributed between 4.78 million addresses. And you can go all the way along up, right? So just recently, between 48,000 and 69,000, there was 2.86 million BTC held between 6.5 million wallet addresses. And 69 to 70,000 price range, there was a total of 541,000 Bitcoin bought. This is what they call in and out of the money. Take a look at this. What does this tell you? Right now, Bitcoin putting in these all-time highs, every single investor ever that has purchased Bitcoin is in the profit. Is every person that bought Apple stock in the profit? Nope. Amazon, Tesla? Nope. And every time somebody buys a Tesla stock, who makes money on it? Who gets richer? Elon or the CEOs? When you buy Bitcoin, who gets richer? All of us, folks. It is the union for the middle class. This is your only way. You can see that Congress isn't going to save you. There's not enough patriots that are willing to rise up to save you. The FBI, the DOJ, the CIA, they're coming after you. The EPA, the FDA, they're poisoning your food. They're coming after your children. Bitcoin is the union. It is the way for us in the middle class to cash out our money out of the corrupt fiat slavery system, right? Fiat's designed to enslave you. Bitcoin's designed to free you. What side of history do you want to be on? It's really that simple. So that's right. I just wanted to show you how freaking cool this is. That every single person, right, that bought Bitcoin when Bitcoin puts in a new all-time high is in the money. Right now, at this exact moment at time, when Bitcoin is at 73,000, 88% of Bitcoin buyers are in the money, right? But take into account that a majority of people, the bigger players that are buying, that probably makes up, 1.85 million addresses. I bet you a lot of that is these big players, these hedge funds. But who knows? It could be people buying Bitcoin for the first time and putting $100 in their bank account and buying it. If you guys are into stacking Bitcoin, you can check out the company called Strike. It is a regulated company on the US stock exchange, and they have set up a company because it's illegal for somebody to pay you in Bitcoin and not dollars. So you get your paycheck, and your paycheck gets deposited into your Strike account, and then Strike automatically converts your dirty fiat dollars into Bitcoin. And I believe they use the Lightning Network, so you're not getting these crazy fees. So if you're somebody that just wants to start putting a couple $100 a month away into Bitcoin, there's no better way to do it than with Strike, in my personal opinion. Not that I've seen. I would love to interview Jack Muller if ever given the chance and talk about Strike. I'd really like to bring him on LFA actually and help educate that audience about it. But let's shill him if you got him. I know you guys wanted to talk about Huron Heroes. Let's talk about it. So it sucks I can't show you guys, but this is the new project that everybody's been diving into over on Kadena. Blue, how much are you up this morning? Blue put like 500 KDA in it, and then like 10 minutes later, he texted me back and said his 500 KDA turned into 560 something KDA. The product just launched. I can't show it because it's on my other. Oh, actually, I can probably show the liquidity and bonding. So we bonded last night, and you basically take Kadena, you stake Kadena, and then in exchange for, like, he wanted to raise 100,000 KDA to add as liquidity over there, over on CADX. So the people that got in on this, I mean, it sold out within like 5 minutes. Blue's at 1,000 KDA. Yeah, Hernando, Strike might be like something that really works for you, like very, very well. Take a look into it. It's just search Jack Muller over on X. Let me pull up his account for you guys. Muller. Nope, that's not him. What's Jack's Twitter? Does anybody have it? There it is. Laser eyes right there. Strike.me. That's the website you want to go to. Strike.me. I really would want to get Jack on. There's so many people over on LFA TV that would be interested in this. Big time. And you can convert just a percentage of your paycheck, right? Like if you only want, you get like a bank account and a Bitcoin wallet, if I'm not mistaken. And I think it's on Lightning. Yeah, it is on Lightning. Build on Lightning. Yep. There you go. If anybody has any contacts with Jack, please send them my way. I would love to help educate more people about how to do that, how to set those up. Yeah, trying to imagine yourself trading this shit. It's wild, man. So here on Heroes, we're going to have Amir, the creator and developer of this project. So how DeFi works if you're new to crypto and what's really cool about crypto that you can't do in the real world. instead of having a middleman, right, that you pay money to, is that music too loud in the background? Give me one second. Let me turn down my music. I hope it'll turn up louder than that. I think it will. So in traditional finance, right, or regular crypto, you go on an exchange and you pay that exchange a fee for them to trade your dollars for Bitcoin. Or maybe you have, you know, some flux and you want to trade your flux for Bitcoin. The exchange charges you a 0.01 to 0.02% fee. Over here, this is called a DEX, which is a decentralized exchange. Nothing decentralized about it. It's absolutely centralized. Uniswap proved that last year. So where I'm going with this is, like right now, I had bought some of this Huron token and I have Cadena. So I put my Huron and Cadena token over here. And right now it's showing 0% APR, which I'm not really sure why. What the hell's going on with CADEX? It definitely should not be 0%. Am I looking at that right? Is all my Huron tokens staked over here and everybody's swapping for free and we're not making any API on that? That would piss me off. That would really piss me off. Why the fuck am I staking it over there? Or maybe that's their bonus. That might be their multiplier. Yeah, maybe. No, you still should be making something, right? So either way, when you go and swap, like say you wanted to buy Flux and you didn't want to go through a centralized exchange because you live somewhere where you can't buy it because it's not on that exchange. These are decentralized DEXs. So you can come over here and swap. So like, for example, I put, let's just say right now there's $1.7 million worth of Cadena over here. And there is 692,000 CADEX. Man, this is really weird because they don't have pools. Why don't they have pools? Eric says, I'm not fucking with these DEXs anymore. That's really weird. Why don't they have pools? I don't think anybody's ever explained that to me. So for example, if you wanted to put, it's hard to explain. I could explain it on Binance, but I forgot they don't have pools over here. That's so weird. So what is all the Cadena over here? Like there's $1.69 million worth of Cadena, but how are they calculating out your swap and your slippage if there's not a Cadena Huron pool? That's really bizarre. Normally you pair two assets. Like I could say, you know, I have $1,000 in KDA and $1,000 in Huron token, and then I own a percentage of that liquidity pool. Yo, Johnny Drama, Chinese cyber attack just now. Hey, Rumble D. Sorry, just realized I knew you. Weird, man. That's so weird. I don't know how this DEX works. I don't even know why I have money staked over here. Like 2 hours ago? Figured it was China. Of course it's China, right? It has to be China. You mean the China, IA, the CIA, the Americas? Pools are next to tokens. Pools are next to tokens. Am I not seeing it? Yeah, something's not working over here. They don't need bombs, bro. They just got to shut off the internet. That'll be hard to do. I mean, I got Starlink. I don't know about you guys, but I don't use it, but I got it. I bought a dish, so you know, I'm watching migrants over in the middle of the jungle is coming through because they have access to Starlink internet. So But I'm really curious on where the pools are at. So 20% of the liquidity on this DEX right now is in KDA Huron token. Look at the token at the right of the pools. Okay, so if my wallet was connected, I would be able to show you. I'll do that tomorrow. I'll get my wallet set up over here so I can really show you guys this. But if I own 1% of this pool, right? Every time somebody goes and swaps and they charge them that 0.3% fee, I get 1% of that. So the volume over here on, let's just say if you own 1% of the Cadena pool right now, the volume over the last, and you get a multiplier over here. So they're going to give you 30% APR for staking, which means that you get paid, I think it's in CADX, 30% annually. So that's a year, which isn't bad. So if you staked $1 million over here in a year, you get $1,300,000 in rewards. If I own 1% of this pool, right? And let's just say the volume was 91,000 today, right? So I think it's 91,000 times 0.03 would be your swap fee, not including high slippage. So that means that every time those people swapped, this exchange basically charged them roughly $2,730 to move $91,000 in volume. And if I own 1% of that pool, right, I would have made $27. Which isn't bad for doing nothing, right? So if I own 1% of this pool, I would have made $27 today. And say you do that 365 days a year, right? You generate $9,964 in passive income. And we're not even in a bull run. So like when things are really popping, you can take your crypto that's sitting in your wallet, you can connect it to a DEX, and you basically lend it out. You earn a set interest rate, which guarantees that you make money, even if nobody swaps the asset. Like if you stake your Flux over here, I've had Flux staked over here for probably a year and a half now, maybe even longer. I've had Kish stacked over here. This is the first OG original meme coin on Cadena. I don't know if the Kish team's still in here, but if there was one meme coin that I thought was going to do something on Cadena, it'd probably be Kish. Like it's going to be the OG original. I'm rooting for them. Hopefully they come back. I probably have $1,000-something worth of Kish that we bought last bull run when I was bigger into the shitcoins. But Huron tokens, I would say is going to be the DeFi kingdoms of Cadena if I had to guess. What do you guys think? Let's see what other coins you guys got. Right above the peak reward button, select pool. I think I found it. I think I had it right there. I don't have my wallet connected, so it's hard to explain. Yeah, passive income, man. I showed people before, right? We can go back to that. What is that calculator I use? Compounding interest calculator. I'll blow your mind here with these bots that I run. So check this out. If you guys want to try these BitsGap bots out, I got a link down below in the description, which will get you a 7-day free trial. All right, so take a look at this, right? So let's use my Cadena bot, for example. My Cadena bot's been running for 1 month and 18 days, and it's brought me in 40% profit. So this bot, 40% profit in 1 month and 18 days. So what would that? We'll round up and say 30 days in a month, and 18 is 48 days, and I've made 40%. So let's get out our calculator. Right now, again, my bots make up a very, very small percentage of my portfolio. I don't recommend doing it with a large amount of your portfolio. I recommend you probably keep 80 to 90% of your crypto off exchange in a wallet that you own. But we'll do 40, was it 48 divided by 40? Means I'm making, nope, 40 divided by 48 equals 0.883% per day. So if I start with well, that bot was roughly $10,000. So we'll say I started with a $10,000 bot, right? And I earn 0.83% per day, which is what my bots are earning right now. And I start with $10,000. And this is compounding, right? So this would be giving the profits I make every day and reinvesting it, reinvesting it, reinvesting it, reinvesting it, constantly adding to your position and making it bigger and bigger and bigger. Right? Most people watch me. I started these bots. This was when Cadena was 40 cents. So I've been pretty much running these bots on and off. I've always had them running pretty much since Cadena was 40 cents. So, you know, that was, when was that? A year ago now? 6 months ago? I don't remember exactly when I started them, a while ago. But let's just say I was able to, and they're up to 70 something thousand. I've probably added to them. I've definitely added to them, right? Giving my bots more money. But I got them up to $80,000 right now. So let's just say I could do this. Well, let's just say the average person would have $10,000 portfolio. What do you think it would make me if I was able to compound and make 0.83% per day over, let's do it over a 3-year period. You guys had to guess, what could you turn if you could make 0.83%, not even 1% per day? What would you make over a 3-year period? Yep, so it's compounding, right? You guys see on the screen there? What does that say? $33,073,360. Now, Sean, you guys watched my interview with Sean Farish, right? Sean Farish from LFA. He's crazy, right? I don't recommend doing what Sean's doing, but he started with $1,000. And every day his target is just 1%, right? Or no, it's 3%, I think. And I think he's done it for the last like 5 or 6 days. He's done it since he's been on this show with me. And I think his portfolio is already up to like $1,200 or $1,300. A lot easier said than done. Somebody watches, I'm with the fuckery and shitcoins, man. It's so crazy. You know, such a high percentage from going to that. But that's the idea. If you can get an asset, right? Like it doesn't have to be. But here's another thing, right? So check this out. Let's do this. What about Bitcoin increasing at, let's say you put 50,000 of your 401k into Bitcoin and it gains 192% per year for the next 10 years. And if you could compound that, right? That's what you could make. I mean, that's just fucking nuts. But that would be taking your 50,000, increasing it by 192%, then increasing it by 192%, then increasing it by 192%. I don't think you're going to really do that. Maybe. Is that the math on that? Is that right? 10 years. If Bitcoin increased at 192% every year, that's fucking nuts, you guys. Wow, that's fucking bonkers, dude. That's what freedom looks like, folks. Yeah, Templar DAO, I do, man. I made a lot of money on that one. I made like 20 G's on that play in like a couple days. And man, that we were getting good back then, man. Like when you get to a point when you can read the wallets and you can see that the OG whales that were originally invested in a project are taking profits, and you put out a video and you're like, hey, fucks, you guys keep fucking with this, I'm going to dump my bags. And they kept fucking with it. Sure as shit, we dumped them. Fuckers. Bitcoin dominance sitting at 53%. What else we got? XRP on a little ripper. Do I think XRP is ever going to do anything? Nah, I really don't. But it might. You never know. With BlackRock and all these other hedge funds, very, very possible. That was the real crusade. But this is going to be fun to watch here on Token. Steve from Cadena Bet reached out to me today, and he said that project alone increased Cadena's what? Volume. Let's take a look at it. I think we can pull it up on CoinMarketCap. I hope the Cadena team realizes like what an asset somebody like Amir is. You know, a lot of people didn't believe me. A lot of people said, oh, you know, there's market makers, there's this, there's that on Cadena. I honestly think a lot of this, right, that this move up here came from me, Blue, and Sournut. At one point, we had $60,000 worth of Cadena bots trading over here, maybe even 70. So that means that if anybody, like we were doing $70,000 worth of fucking trade volume just between us. That's if we just sold our positions. So I think a lot of this had to do with our bots, right? Because I was pretty much solo until right here. And then I think I got Sournut to turn his on at 60 something cents. And we wrote it up and it came back down and he had him off. And then for some reason, he turned him off over here at like $1.28 because I think he couldn't keep him running because you keep needing to add to him. Then he turned him on back over here. And I think Blue, what price did you turn yours on at? Like $1.10 or $1.20? And then it ran all the way up to $1.80. And then came all the way back down to $1. Maybe it was right here, $1.46. And then what? We're at 202 right now. And what just happened? Volume up 138%. So people really want to see Cadena going to the moon. Understand how these bots work. You don't have to set up crazy grids like I do, where I'm trading insane amounts and you need to have a lot of money to trade the strategy I have. But you can set up a bigger grid on these bots. We can do one day. I'll set up a bot on some stable coin and in some asset. I just bought $5,000 worth of Bitcoin, so I need to chill for a second. But tomorrow we'll set one up. I'll set up a bot for like $1,000, and I'll show you guys how to set one up so that you can set your Cadena bot up. And if we got enough of us in this community, which is why I think you see other shit coins, right? Like some of these coins that have just went insane that don't have smart contracts and have billion-dollar market caps. They understand that volume and supply shock is everything. So if you're able to keep volume up, right? If enough of us had bots running on Cadena, I think we'd send it to $5, maybe $10. Ryan, fun fact, a few friends of mine, co-founders of Collective on Cadena at 40 cents. And we bought $1 million in KDA. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. I bought a lot of KDA down there. Good for you guys, man. That's huge. I said that. I said if any billionaire were to step into Cadena and just buy $1 billion worth, it'd be insane. And those are the only 3 crypto products I hold. Cadena, Bitcoin, and Flux. Those are the only big bags I have. This OnlyFans sucks. Take off your hat slowly. Big Dixus. I like that name. Big Dick in the house. Big Dick came to party. Bulldag says, I came into corporate finance when there was 386 PCs in a room for a corporate HQ accounting department. Oh man, that's wild. That's wild. Those are the only important bags. They are, man. Those are the bags that, you know, and I'm fully aware now, like, you know, Bitcoin, not crypto, right? Cadena is a company, just like Apple, just like Amazon, you know, no different than Flux. They're all companies, right? They don't survive without somebody running them, you know? So understand that when you're investing in altcoins. There's nothing wrong with that. You want to invest in a company, but Bitcoin's the only true at heart, 100% decentralized crypto project. Flux is pretty close. But again, you know, they need, you know, you need people running that company. You need people getting online and talking about it and managing it and building it out to continue to grow, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But just understanding that, you know, I don't want to be one of those guys out here going, oh, it's all decentralized. Solana's decentralized. And you're like, wait, Solana's decentralized how? If you guys ever want to see how truly decentralized something is, what is that whale wallet website, guys? What is it? Was it Whale Alert or... Coin Codex. Coin Codex was it. Oh yeah, check this out. No, it's not Coin Codex. What is that whale wallet one? You guys knew. Now you're talking, Z-Phil. That's what I've been saying from the very, very beginning. Z-Phil says, why doesn't Cadena become the layer 2 of Bitcoin? We could handle the volume. So true, man. This is what I want to do personally. Because you have gas stations on Cadena, right? You have the ability to accept any currency that you want for settlement. Not for settlement, but for transaction. Which means you can pay me in Bitcoin, right? And then my gas station can be pre-filled with Cadena. So I charge you 10 cents of Bitcoin, right? To pay with Bitcoin. And then you swap, you do your transaction, and then you pay with Bitcoin, and in the back end it converts the Bitcoin to Cadena, right? And then trades you out your asset because it pays for the gas. Sorry, it doesn't convert it. It pays for your gas with the Cadena that you've already prepaid, put in your gas station. So you could literally create a smart contract on Cadena's blockchain that only accepts Bitcoin. So if you wanted to sell a product or a service on Cadena, you could literally make Bitcoin your payment, which is crazy to think about. So there's no other blockchain that I've ever heard of that you can do this with. Which is really crazy to think about. No other blockchain, smart contract blockchain, really has the inherent ability to strengthen Bitcoin. And the problem is we haven't found a decentralized bridge there. So you're gonna have to, if you want to use your Bitcoin in the Cadena ecosystem, seems kind of crazy to me, but you might. Yeah. I absolutely can, Z-Phil, because it doesn't even have to do anything. Like a lot of people are like, oh, like they're like inscribing Satoshis and trying to build applications on top of Bitcoin, which is why you see the gas fees so high. 100% because of gas stations. You put your Cadena in the gas station, you say, hey, you want to mint this NFT? Well, you can only mint this NFT with Bitcoin. You have to pay in Bitcoin, which is probably a double-edged sword because somebody like USDC could come in and build everything out and build out an entire decentralized protocols on Cadena for everything. Like whoever makes the first NFT, like OpenSea of Cadena, I think is going to be extremely rich. But like somebody like USDC, it would have been smart, in my opinion, if they would have went all in on Cadena and they would have figured out a way to actually build a USDC stablecoin on Cadena for one. And then their gas stations could have accepted only USDC. Kind of like Star Atlas, like the game Star Atlas. I mean, remember that took USDC to like a $30 billion market cap from almost nothing. So yeah, you could do it. Big time. Big time. It'd be really smart. I'd actually would love to see Amir do that. I think Amir should do that. Honestly, it doesn't matter what you build. Just build anything and say, hey, you know, this is how we strengthen the Bitcoin blockchain. And then just constantly advertise it, you know. I would create the product. It'd be called Bitcoin, not crypto. Something like that. Or Bitcoin layer 2, right? Man, it'd be... I don't really know how the Bitcoin maxis would feel about that. It's really interesting times, right? And that's why I hold a ton of Cadena. But the question will be, yeah, I think Cadena outperforms Bitcoin, but man, with the amount of money, we're talking about sovereign wealth funds, folks. We're going to see a bull run unlike anything we've ever seen before. We got about 3 minutes left, folks. Show me your favorite coins. What are you guys looking into? What's crazy? What do you guys want me to pull up? What do you guys want me to look into? We'll check it out for you. Cadena at $2, baby. She gone. She gone. Next stop, $5. If it can break above 240, I think it's going to 5. Tau, says Z-Fills. Tau. Tau. Bit sooner. Bitten. Which one? Apple guy says Hyperlane. Oh, vortex effect. Hyperlane. Yeah. Now you're talking, somebody watching. That's how the best traders trade. Get onto YouTube and start watching how to... You can code in over here on TradingView, right? TradingView allows you to make your own indicators, right? Like this indicator is just code, right? And you can create your own indicators that look for specific things on a chart. Like, let me show you this harmonic pattern. Right, so somebody built this indicator. Right? So it looks for a pattern. And when it finally makes this pattern, right? Like, for example, when it printed this last D, right? It says, hey, this bat pattern just played out. A butterfly pattern. This is the butterfly pattern where you're looking for these key characteristics on a chart. And once it plays out and it maps this out, it says, boom. Okay, cool. D, as soon as that D printed, right? That was your entry point. And it might have printed when it was right here. But either way, it's still printed. That's your entry point. Where's your target of take profit? Either the 0.127 or probably the 0.618. 1618. So it's saying, hey, on XRP, here was your buy signal down here. Here's your target, right? So you can build out bots that will trade based off the signals that they get. So basically, TradingView would give you a signal when this D printed. That signal would then create a buy order. You would then market buy at that exact price. And then it would, you know, you could go, okay, hey, I'm going to go off of the 0.127, or I'm just going to go off the 100% mark. And you can say, oh, automatically put me a sell order at 65 cents. So your bot would have bought based off the indicator you created, and it would have sold based off here. The real money too is actually in selling indicators. If you get good at trading and you understand how markets work, I've always wanted to create my own indicator and brand it and sell it, called the dumb money indicator. But you know, never found anybody that could code and actually wanted to get in on it and that actually understood how it all worked. And then it just turned into something. I've tried a few times with a few different people, but either they faded out or like it just was too much work and they didn't get into it. But Bulldex is another rigged market. My son was playing with FX trading algorithms years back. Another rigged market. Oh yeah, that's definitely rigged. FX markets, I mean, they use like 1,000x leverage because shit only moves like a you know, very small percentages. Nexa, my friend. Nexa. Blue's bigger than Nexa. How's Nexa holding up for y'all? Okay. Yeah, man, that one was ripping at one point, Blue. How much were you up from the peak? Because Blue got in pretty much day one. So you rode it up 370%. Blue, did you take any profits there? Then it pumped up again another 500 something percent. Nothing cooks like a cast iron skillet, baby. You know, what's his name? What's that guy's crypto? Who's the guy with the these indicators? What was that? Vu Manchu. What was the other one? Market Cipher. So this guy built these indicators, right? And they put dots on the chart, right? Like when this green line right here printed, that would have been your buy signal, showing you got bullish divergence. So if you would have bought on that green dot there, you would have been buying Nexa. Oops. You would have been buying Nexa at right there, honestly, right there. So that trade, if your bot would have bought off that signal alone, you'd be up like 67% right now. Crypto Face, that's his name, Crypto Face. He's still alive? Yep. Crypto Face created Market Cipher. Yeah, that was Crypto Face. And he created it back in the 2017, 2016 era, if I'm not mistaken. He was this guy that was just day trading over here. And he created that indicator. And he was selling it at the time, you know, when Bitcoin was like, you know, a few $1,000s, I think for $500 worth of Bitcoin. Right? And he sold, I couldn't tell you how many. I mean, at this point, I bet you he's probably sold a couple 100,000. So like this guy's set for life. He makes big trades. And he only, normally I think he trades bigger in these markets, right? Like it's like millions and millions of dollars that he trades per trade. And he'll use like 5 or 7x leverage. And he'll have these, and he'll leave them open. He'll leave his trades open for a while. But I think it's just a lot of it is just advertising, right? Yeah, he still trades on YouTube daily. Yep. So, I mean, these guys make a lot of money, man. They really do. But I've also heard stories like if they trade daily, it's a little bit different because you're constantly seeing them. But like what a lot of influencers will do is they'll go open 2 trades. Like right now, they would take out a long, you know, with 10x leverage, and they'll take a short out with 10x leverage. And then like they do it after their show ends. And then by the next day, right before their show starts, right, they'll close out whatever trade was wrong, right? If they're short and it starts to break down, so they lose a little bit, right? Because one's going up, one's going down. But the amount of subscribers they get, clout they get, people using their affiliate links they get, I mean, they're making a killing. So they'll open 2 trades, and then when one goes in the right direction, they close out the other one, and then they show off the one that went in the right direction. Yep. Wow, we did an industrial marketing contract pricing and profit strategy. How's that working out? Yeah, did he steal that from somebody? Blue says he probably did. I mean, he stole part of Kite's work. My buddy made a risk versus reward calculator, like a really good one, a really good user interface. So if you're leverage trading and based off your portfolio size, it would tell you the amount of profit you could take or the amount of risk that you should have based off of your portfolio size. And he made a website. His buddy coded it up from free, and he was giving it away to everybody for free. And the Market Cipher team, is actually Crypto Face's brother, reached out to Kite and was like, hey man, I really love that indicator. Would you mind, you know, or your calculator, would you mind showing me how it works? Kite's like, yeah, man, you guys are cool. They brought me on the show one day, and I think his Crypto Face sent him some money because he made a video on it. Like he didn't pay Kite to make the video. Kite made the video, and Crypto Face is like, here, I just want to send you a little bit of cash for making that video for me. So Kite knew him, and Kite brought in his brother or his son or brother or something like that, and showed him how to use the indicator. And at the end of like the hour-long session, they spent teaching him how to use this indicator that he bought, or he built himself, custom built. He goes, hey man, you ever be interested in selling that? Kite's like, no man, I made it for everybody for free. He's like, oh, all right. So a couple of weeks later, Crypto Face started advertising a new free risk versus reward leverage calculator that's included with the package if you buy his indicators, if you buy like the big package. Pretty crazy, isn't it? pretty shitty to do to somebody, you know? So he might be a cool dude, but you know, when you go take somebody's intellectual property rights and you know, you just steal it from them right in front of their face and then you incorporate it into your business to generate you more money, man. I was at Trump's house, Phil, but no, I never got to meet him. He had left. We went down there for the airing of Mar-a-Lago, or we were at Mar-a-Lago for the airing of Police State. So we got invited down there. Beautiful house, man. It's, I don't know how to explain it. It's absolutely immaculate. It's one of the only properties that has fresh water. There's some lake on one side of the property, and then on the other side of the property, it's open. Yeah, I mean it's just swampy to do, you know. They didn't have to incorporate it into their product, you know. They could have just said, hey, they could have, number one, named it after Kite, right? Like they wanted to buy it. They wanted to license it from Kite. And when Kite's like, no, they just went and stole it. You know, that's shitty, man. That's swampy, dude. At least throw the dude, at least name it, right? You could have easily, you know, been like, dude, we just added, you know, Kite Crypto's leverage calculator. If you guys want to, you know, learn about trading, follow Kite Crypto. I mean, you wouldn't have had it. It was a really, really unique strategy that nobody else was using. And Kite created it himself. I mean, they would have never came up with the system and strategy that he did. They could have done something really nice for Kite, you know, even if they were going to steal it, be like, hey man, you know, it's just shitty, dude. And then he also, like, Fu Manchu was out first, right? And Fu Manchu is free, right? So Kite made the first video that he made, right, for Market Cipher, and he's like, well, actually, you know, they got Fu Manchu is really similar, and I actually, you know, really like, you know, how Fu Manchu does this and like Prince Green circles or whatever. And it was like the next week he went and put that into his indicator. So like his indicator is basically Fu Manchu. That's also kind of shitty, you know, but hey, it's crypto. It's expected. Is what it is. I can't hate on anybody. I just don't like when my friends get fucked over, you know. I'm just too good of a guy. I just feel like I just couldn't imagine doing that to somebody. I really couldn't. Yep. Kite's my dude, man. He's one hell of a guy. One hell of a guy. Well, yeah, I bought it, right? We had it for a while. I paid like $400 for like the year license. What was that? What was his called? Market Cipher? Yeah, I removed it from my favorites list because I don't have it anymore. I only bought the 1 year thing. I should have bought the lifetime thing. It was like a couple $100 more. But I was like, I'll just test it out. If I really like it, I'll keep it. And then I found Fu Manchu and I was like, oh, Fu Manchu is the exact same thing. Why wouldn't I just use Fu Manchu? No, Zephyr, I have not looked at Spire Key. I have not. I don't know anything about it. I would love to interview the team behind it. That's for sure. Oh yeah, I bought $10,000 worth of indicators. No, it was like $1,500 indicators. These ones, man, these ones really got me, right? And I even was like, oh, I'll market them for you. And I still had to pay for them, right? Let me show you these indicators. And granted, I wasn't big into trading back then. I wasn't big into trading. I didn't have any understanding of how trading really worked. I thought that I could buy indicators, and that once I bought the indicators, it was going to be like a... And I got to get rid of some of these. What the fuck is going on here? Oh, there it is. I was like, it's not on. So this one is your patterns, right? And the idea is you're supposed to trade with all of these indicators, right? So you have the harmonic pattern. One of them is the divergence cloud, right? So you can see this one's going to put a green and red clouds behind here. So what you're looking for is to get a pattern, and at the same time, right? So like this D would have printed down here. That was my entry position here. But over here, I'm still getting red triangles. You're waiting till you get the green triangle. So that was your entry point. So you got one sign of confirmation. You got two signs of confirmation. Then what was the other one? You have your false breakout stochastic, right? So again, here, now you're looking for these green arrows down here. So there's my green arrow. So now I have 1, 2, 3 confirmations. And I think he was trying to tell us you wanted 5 or 6 confirmations. What was the other one? I know I bought the Elliott wave, but that wasn't part of it. Oh, the Elliott wave oscillator. And then you have your oscillator. So your oscillator went from green to red right there. So this is like, I mean, if you're really getting big into trading and you really want to do it, this is pretty much how you do it, right? You get as many signs of confirmation, not just one indicator, not just 2 indicators. But at this point right here, you had 4 indicators saying, hey, open a long position. And then you even got one that's saying, hey, where's your take profit target at? Probably right up here. If you got 4 signs of confirmation, you know, you would have entered the trade right here at the last resort with your 4th sign of confirmation. You need to take profit. That's 29% trade. Not too shabby, right? If you really want to trade and you really want to, you know, play the game, that's how you play it. Shit, when we start doing coin calls, I should probably do that shit. I always feel like it's just too much on the screen and people can't see it, but all right, folks, that is a wrap over here on the Ryan Matta Show. Folks, do me a solid. Smash that like button. If you're new to crypto and you guys want to learn more about investing, crypto strategies, trading, mainly stacking Bitcoins and Satoshis, folks, smash that like button. Share this content. Tell your friends and family. You know, come over here, check out a show. If they have questions, I'm more than happy to help them, educate them. Anything I can do to help onboard more people into crypto, specifically Bitcoin and out of fiat currency, I'm going to do anything I can to help you guys. God bless you guys. God bless America. And God bless Donald Trump. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
Run.